forecast. My name is Arik, and soon you will see me. Hi. Hi and welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. We are talking about Cancer season 2023. There's a lot of energy that's available to us, and I'm going to go into the different events that are going to be happening throughout Cancer season, and then at the end I'm going to guide us through like a very healing guided visualization, so you can kind of choose to where you want to invest your energy, and then you can have that kind of come back to you throughout the entire month of what's called solar Cancer, or what we also call Cancer season. So we get like a 30-day window that we can kind of tap into all the energy that's available specifically throughout Cancer season. All right, so I think it's very interesting because there are so many different events that are going on throughout Cancer, and Cancer is typically a archetype that has to do with healing. It has to do with immunity. It has to do with taking care of things, taking care of business, of being able to kind of understand things in a very specific way within understanding the context of things. There is a forecast, like horoscopes for each sign that you can read on zodiac.com. And you're also, if you're going to want to go a little bit deeper, you're going to want to see where Cancer is ruling on your astrological chart, because that's going to give you a deeper insight into how you can kind of embrace the divine energy in your life and activate healing energy of your health, of your finances, of your relationships, of any situation that needs healing. It's basically, there's just like a disconnection between you and the divine. And this is how you can repair that severance and then activate immunity that comes from it. So I hope you're ready to go on this really incredible journey with me as we're all going in through Cancer season. And that is also beginning the summer solstice, which I have a separate talk that I have available for everyone to watch there. But it's let's just jump right into some of the aspects that are going on. So let me see. Okay. Hi, here I am. So here's pretty much the agenda of what we have going on with Cancer season, and I'm going to go through each and every one of step here and kind of delineate the cosmic dance of the celestial bodies and see what's available for each and every one of us as we kind of navigate through the energies. And so let's begin. On June 21st, we have the sun entering Cancer, which is the summer solstice, which begins a 3-month journey. And the sun has the ability to illuminate anything. So it's kind of illuminating the path of healing, self-healing. Also, emotional nourishment is the context that we have available. If you think about your tech, for example, your phones, your computers, they require often maintenance. And there is the analogy in zodiac hacks that this season, Cancer, is the same kind of maintenance of any kind of anger issues that we have within ourselves. It's really the time to understand our emotions, to kind of address any deep-seated wounds that we might have, and kind of prioritize ourselves into a state of relaxation, a state of restoring balance, and also the harmony within us. Very, very, very important. So some of the things that we have available to us as the sun moves into Cancer is that nurturing, compassionate energy that just kind of easily flows through us. But if we have a hard time with compassion, it could get a little bit heavy. So we want to kind of focus on fostering emotional connections, thinking about self-care. Now, there is the tendency to become overly sensitive, overly moody during Cancer season. So we have to just kind of, if we feel that we're feeling too many things, we need to tell ourselves, stop. We need to stop, because it's just too much. It's too much. Like, there's just too much to feel. And if there's too much to feel, then what's the experience? So what we need to do is to kind of become aware of these nurturing qualities, focus on the self-care and deepening our emotional connections with others, so that we're not just in this realm of feeling things all the time. Then we have an interesting ingression. Juno, which is an asteroid that I work with. I haven't talked a lot about it before, but it's an important asteroid because it's from a previous time, in a previous solar system. But Juno, it's still there. It's like a relic. It's like a relic planet, and it still has some energy, and it's going to be moving into Cancer as well. And that's happening the day after the solstice. And so what's going to happen there is it's like strengthening our connections, strengthening our partnerships. So just like, once again, our devices, relationships require attention, they require care. We shouldn't be too much focused on our devices all the time. We need to look up and connect with the people around us. That's what's really important to understand, especially during Cancer season, that wants to nurture other people, that wants to kind of understand and promote the understanding in interactions, because interactions, they are really important. Actually, I don't know if this still exists, but I remember years ago, back when the iPhone just came out, and I was talking with a group of people, and it was at the mall, and they were talking about on Craigslist, there was this like subreddit. I don't even know what it's called anymore, but it's like, because I'm thinking of Reddit, but it's like there's a I'm sure somebody knows what it's called. You can put it in the WhatsApp chat, but there's like these different forums. And it was like something called missed connections. Missed connections, man, that was the day. And basically it would be narrowed down by city. And people would go in there and they would describe other people that they saw that they were too kind of embarrassed or shy to talk to. And they would basically give them a second opportunity to make a connection. And I just thought it was like really interesting, because they were talking about it, and it's like how you would have to describe the person, where they were, what they were doing. It's kind of creepy, but I think some people like reconnected on that. But I think the concept is interesting, because if we're not really present in our interactions, and we're not taking initiative, and if we're not really acting in the moment, we can miss connections. And not just with people, but it's like missing a flight, missing a train, missing a person that we don't see. Like, it's about being in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. That's also this energy of Cancer, which is ruled by the archetype called the Chariot. So Juno in Cancer, it can kind of give strength to being present in relationships, and it's promoting this emotional bonding. But there could be kind of this tendency to become overly dependent, possessive in relationships. So the zodiac hack for then is going to be just to kind of focus on being present, being open, having honest communication, nurturing your relationships without losing yourself, and creating like a good sense of emotional security. Okay, hold on, I just need some kombucha, just a second. It's so stereotypical, but I have to, so hold on just a second. And I think this is amazing, because I'm having a green tea kombucha, and on the back, I just saw this today, it said, everything is connected. The stars, the planets, plants, you and us. This is why we need to move towards a mindful and restorative agriculture. This is biodynamic farming, and you guys know I'm really big on that. But I think this is amazing because the biodynamic farming has to do with the stars and everything, like the whole cosmos. And Cancer is definitely having an influence on all of that. So there you go. Okay, you guys, on the same day, Vesta, which is another asteroid, and I want to talk about the asteroids because it's like these old distant family members of the solar system, so that's why I'm talking about it. But Vesta will be moving into Gemini, and what that's doing is it's kind of encouraging us to explore different facets of our spirituality. So that means going deeper. I'm not going to talk about what all the different asteroids are doing. I'm just telling you like what the energy is, because this is a forecast because I felt the question, but I will do a separate class on that. But what I'm telling you is that life kind of offers us various avenues of information that maybe becomes knowledge, that then hopefully becomes wisdom. And what happens is this time is going to kind of invite us to expand our perspectives and to deepen our spiritual practices, or if like our practices that we're currently on are not going deeper, then we need to of course see like, is that within us, or have I outgrown this practice? And it could be that maybe you start a new spiritual practice, for example, like a new meditation practice, something that's like structured, not just random, that's going to resonate with what your essential self really represents, which is of course truth. So this is about really embracing curiosity, being open-minded in your quest for personal growth. Maybe also, like I said, you're going to go a little bit deeper. So it's this enhancing the intellectual pursuits, the curiosity, being able to understand things, but the challenge will be focusing on one thing at a time, okay? Maybe being a little bit of a spiritual surfer, scattering your energy. So what we want to do, the zodiac hack here throughout the whole Cancer season, is kind of embrace the mental agility, being able to put one thing down, pick another thing up, then focus on that, put that down, pick it up, pick up something else, like one thing at a time, but being able to quickly move if you need to. And then this will allow you to explore different ideas authentically, to be able to explore different perspectives, but also be able to kind of ground your techniques, maintain the focus when needed. So that's really, really promising. And then on the 26th, we have the moon will be in its first quarter phase in Libra. So this is about this is going to give us a push towards the importance of balance, the importance of, once again, relationships. So you see there's a lot of themes about relationships this Cancer season. And so we're kind of reminded to find, I guess you would say, karmic, how would I say that actually? I think finding the natural balance between what is it that we need and what others need. So this is not about going into compromise. It's about understanding synergy. It's about understanding the fairness and the cooperation and the collaboration that happens within relationships. So I think like, obviously the first quarter moon is like the light is changing in the moon every day really. So it has a big emphasis also on making decisions, okay? Libra has to do with making decisions. So it could be a little bit challenging on the 26th of June because you're weighing the different options, you're weighing the different perspectives. And the best way to use this is to find the middle ground. Once again, because we had some practice from the Vesta in Gemini, we want to be open, we want to be honest, we want to communicate and trust in the intuition that's going to guide you towards like really the best course of action. And this is going to be so important because still on the same day, we have the planet Mercury is going to be going into Cancer. So wherever Cancer is rolling on your chart, Mercury is joining the party in this area of your life. And I guess we could say Mercury in Cancer is kind of deepening the emotional intelligence, also giving communication like more color, more emotion, more potentially heartfelt. So I encourage you guys to let your words and your communication come from a place of empathy, coming from a place of compassion. Don't worry if it makes you look weak. It won't, because if you are compassionate, you are really strong. So this is about sharing your emotions openly, fostering connections that are rooted in like that authentic, vulnerable place. So that's really, really helpful because it's gonna, as you can do that, it's going to strengthen your intuition bone. That you'll become more intuitive in how you communicate. So you'll be able to say the right thing at the right time, in the right place, to the right person. And it could also be that the communication gets a little bit more subjective, it gets a little bit too emotional, and maybe our logic is not as strong as it should be. So just be mindful of that, to be like, okay, now remember that there is a logic, and the logic and the like the right brain and the left brain, they need to work together. And to just allow yourself to be heartfelt in your communication, but at the same time, that means to listen with the heart. Listen with your heart. And then trust in your intuition on what it is that you need to say. And that's how you're going to balance the emotions with the logic, so that you can ensure like a very clear, a very effective communication. All right. So we have a major planet going retrograde on June 30th. And it's going to be there in the retrograde motion for a while. Now, this is the planet Neptune. You guys see it there on the screen. It's going to be in retrograding in Pisces. So, this means we're going to dive even deeper. We are going into a kind of time travel, time zone situation, and we are being called to really explore the depths of our spiritual self, because the retrograde, whenever a planet goes retrograde, it's telling us to kind of reflect on our past choices, to reflect on our past experiences, and to kind of use the retrograde motion to dive deep into the subconscious, especially because it's Neptune and Pisces. So it's about uncovering, undoing illusions or delusions that are kind of limiting your spiritual growth. So this is about embracing self-reflection, reconnecting with your intuition, and really allowing it to guide you toward a clear understanding of what your purpose is, of what your higher purpose is. So introspection, spiritual growth, exposing illusions, and then you're going to be guided towards greater clarity for anything that it is that you need. Now, with this said, I also need to warn us that there may be a tendency to feel a little bit overwhelmed, to feel a bit victimized, maybe even confused as you're coming into contact with your subconscious patterns and the subconscious illusions and the things that you're not really aware of, or that you've stuffed down, that you don't really want to look at. So the best way to hack this is to accept this introspective period. It's going to last for a few months, but it begins in Cancer season. So where something begins, it takes it all the way through. So wherever that is happening in your chart, it's going to have like also an impact on Cancer. So of course the emotions, the self-reflection. I would also suggest Once again, using the transits I said earlier, using your spiritual practices that are working. Trust in them. Allow the process of your spiritual practice to pick up the slack, to be there for you for whatever it is that you need, especially as retrograde, the Neptune retrograde, because it's going to unveil the truth, whether you are ready for it or not. Jerry Maguire, he said, you know, we all know what he said about the truth. Okay, so you guys, then we have on July 3rd, just before Independence Day, we have the full moon in Capricorn, which is going to be like a very healing full moon. Of course, I'll be doing a separate class on that, part of the Zodiac Hackers membership. And you can go in there and melt down your obstacles. But really, it's bringing forth a lot of power, of determination, of ambition, because it's Capricorn. So it's like, I think what I could say here with this is that we use our gadgets and our devices to kind of advance and evolve and be more productive. And we're kind of empowered with them at times. So we want to also know that there's spiritual empowerment as well, that we are empowered to really channel our inner drive, to manifest our goals. Capricorn, when it's used in the proper way, like for the spiritual goals, it can manifest so much more than if it's just like for the material goals. So I suggest really utilizing all that practical energy of Capricorn, which is going to be exact opposite of Cancer, to kind of bring in some structure to the emotions, some discipline to the feelings, and so that all of the spiritual aspirations, that they can align also with your material pursuits, okay? So that full moon in Capricorn is going to bring a lot of determination and practicality so that you can figure out how you can manifest your goals. Now, there could be a lot of pressure to achieve, and it can be very intense with this full moon, and it could lead to potential burnout if you do not have your spiritual connection, or if you're neglecting your emotional needs. So, like I said, I will talk more about this as we approach it, but really think about setting realistic goals for this full moon, and kind of remember to make self-care a priority, finding a balance between work and emotions, work and pleasure. And, well, now I don't want to say work and pleasure because you can get a lot of pleasure from work, but work and recreation. So use that practical energy of Capricorn to really structure your efforts in a smart way so that you're not exhausting yourself. Then on July 9th, we have the last quarter moon. So this is the moon goes from full and it's decreasing in light. And this is going to be in Aries. And this is going to be like more letting go, more releasing, kind of the immaturity, the outdated programs that need to be cleared out so that we can make space for new innovation. This lunar phase is really about getting us to kind of let go of these immature beliefs or patterns that are also holding you back. So allow that fiery energy of Aries to ignite that inner warrior at this time, and be brave enough to let go of things that you need to confront, or to confront things and then see what you're supposed to do with them. And then you're going to be able to transcend obstacles that are in your way, because it's really all about, we need to let go before we can begin something new. So we want to be careful of being impulsive, or like having ego clashes, or asserting our independence. These are classic Aries mistakes. So I think it's more about like allowing change, releasing the immaturity, being mindful with how you do that, and allowing yourself to express yourself positively. So that's going to be on the 9th of July. And then the next day, another asteroid called Pallas is going to be moving into Virgo. And then the day after that, Mars is also going to be moving into Virgo. So we have we get like a boost of Virgo energy here during Cancer season. And this is kind of shifting our focus towards being more detailed, practical problem solving, like with our actions. We're going to have to be very meticulous and attentive to the energies that Mars and Pallas are activating, because we have to kind of hone our analytical skills and address the challenges or the conflicts that we're facing with a very clear mind. We're going to need a clear mind, or we're going to need to go to somebody who has a clear mind, because there could be like a lot of muddled things getting lost in the details. So either way, it's about finding practical solutions, embracing the power of discernment as you're kind of navigating through life, because life can be very, very, very complex at times. So I think that we need to kind of just know that the analytical skills are enhanced, but we cannot let them take over. Okay? Now, it's like this could manifest as, you guys, from July 10th on, as overthinking, being too critical about things, finding things that are wrong that just are just delaying progress, delaying creativity. So once again, allow yourself to be analytical, but to address changes that are on the table to be changed. Because I would strongly advise with these transits to avoid getting lost in perfectionism. Perfectionism is the enemy to progress. So we want to do practical problem solving, nurturing the creative flow, being motivated and efficient, and having a strong work ethic, because the Mars in Virgo just loves that. I know a lot of people who have Mars in Virgo, and they just have a really, really, really strong work ethic. So we all kind of get that as well. Now, the downside is that it could be overly critical and too focused on the details. Like, why is the chair crooked? Why is this a little bit stiff? So what we can do with that is to kind of direct your energy towards being productive. Find your tasks, be productive, which is going to be really good for all that emotional energy of Cancer. So maintaining balance, appreciating progress rather than striving for that perfection. And I dare to say, use the Cancerian energy of practicing compassion whenever you start to find yourself being a little bit too critical of self and others. The next day, believe it or not, we have so much going on this month, but yes, the next day we have actually, and I have to mention one other thing that's really important, that's beginning on the 3rd of July. I don't think it's on here, but I'm going to talk about it in the solstice live stream, is kind of this microcosm of summer during 3 weeks. So there are 3 weeks in summer that are connected to the 3 months of summer. And if we can really kind of thrive in them, we can control all of summer. And that begins on the 3rd of July. That begins on the 3rd of July. And this is a radioactive time that lasts for 3 weeks, but I highly suggest you watch the summer solstice talk there, because there I talk a lot about it, and I will be doing a special course that's available for sign up now on those 3 weeks, where every week I will be talking about a different consciousness that we need to have and how we can really control the whole summer, because the summer is quite negative in terms of the energy, but we can turn it into something good. And I'm sure you guys feel it. But like I said, I don't want to get into all that because I want to talk specifically about Cancer, the forecast here, but I just had to mention it. On July 11th, we have Mercury is going into Leo. And so this is going to kind of make the way that we communicate with people a little bit more dramatic, a little bit more creative, a huge emphasis on self-expression. Sometimes the ego is talking, but that's not necessarily a bad thing because we need the ego to talk. But maybe it's like we're a little bit more artistic in the way that we speak. So I highly suggest that you guys, we allow our words to come from the divine. Also, Mercury is also our ideas. So we're going to have really, really great ideas to empower, to inspire. I also suggest speaking your truth with confidence, using your voice to kind of uplift and motivate others, and just to watch out for the ego-driven communication and also that tendency to dominate conversations. Mercury in Leo, even more than Leo itself, tends to kind of dominate conversations, which, like I said, it could be good, it could be bad, but just make sure that you are embracing what the context of what's going on, what's the creativity. I think the best approach is to be sharing in your communication, to be sharing your ideas, sharing your confidence, while remaining very mindful of other people's perspectives. So really, once again, it's about being able to practice listening and ensuring that your communication is reflecting that warmth and generosity and leadership of Leo. All right, so then what's next on the list? Okay, oh, but then we have the new moon. All right, so we have the new moon in Cancer on July 17th. Did I skip one? Did I skip one? No. Okay, so we have the new moon in Cancer. I will be doing a new moon virtual ritual on that, but this is kind of giving us a boost of new beginnings. It's like double, triple, quadruple Cancer energy. So it's a good day to set intentions, and stay tuned for more information on that. But basically, like, we want to just, I think we're going to all be like sensitive AF during that day. So just emotions are kind of going to be highlighted. There might be some moodiness, but at the same time, just create a safe space to cry or to release something that you've been holding onto. And that transformative energy is going to give you some healing and some growth, and it's going to give you immunity from future repetitions of sadness. Beautiful. All right, so then on the same day, oh my God. Okay, so we have the North Node is going to be going backwards into, into Aries. My goodness. All right, so the North Node is going into Aries. Oh my God. Okay, so that means the South Node is going into Libra. You guys, this is intense. Yeah, so let me see. Okay, yeah. That is kind of not the best timing. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. So, okay, what can we do about this? What can we do about this? Okay, as always, you guys, we need to take initiative, to be introspective. Look at yourself. Aries is the I am. The North Node is the collective point of where we all need to put our focus. So we all need to look at ourselves. The thing is, why it makes me nervous is because Aries is typically also connected to the sign of war. And the North Node in Aries, I mean, yeah, we've had this before. That's not the point. And the things have happened in the past. But it's like we need to go into the inner war. There we go. We need to go into the inner war. And we need to know that we cannot be relaxed about understanding who you are. Really understand who you are. So what I love about this is that it goes right in there during Cancer season, and Cancer is very compassionate, very healing, very loving, and so it gives you the armor. Cancer has the armor, so we have the protection to really to get to know ourselves, and getting to know ourselves is quite a painful task. I work with so many people, and time again. To getting to know ourselves, it's often this oscillation between vanity and entertainment and avoidance. So we have to really know that we're allowed to meet ourselves, like our inner child, because Aries is also the baby, it's the child, and then to kind of shine while that process is undergoing. And the way that we're going to do this as a collective, and I just pray to God that we can do that, is we can shine by being patient. I know I'm funny, but what can you do? We have to be patient. We have to be mindful of our impact on other people. Because if we're getting impatient, if we are being impulsive, then, and I just don't like that it's going during the 3 weeks, but it's okay, because this means we just have to work extra hard. We just have to work extra hard to get to know ourselves, to reassess our personal identity, and to be courageous. I reach out with authority. This is the energy of Aries. And so it's about this reevaluation of our individuality. I'm not saying to create new identities, but if you do, then you do. But to just be assertive with meeting yourself, your true self, and allowing yourself to adapt. Allowing yourself to adapt and looking at what is your personal evolution. How can you express your unique self, the structure of your life with courage, and embracing your individuality, but at the same time knowing that you're on that journey with others. The South Node in Libra is the other, and we are always with others because no man is an island. Thank God. I mean, it's like, one thing we learned during social distancing is that, we are not separate. We are all connected. I mean, hopefully we learn that. So, okay, then July 22nd, we have also what's going on, like a few days after that, is that there's going to be a little interesting aspect called the semi-square in between the planet Jupiter and Neptune. Okay, you guys, so this is going to ask each and every one of us to be a little bit more discerning and to have more spiritual clarity about things. So, because, I work in software. Also, when we have software programs, we have to constantly run tests all the time. And we are going to be running through tests all the time. This aspect is testing us. Jupiter likes to test us. Neptune likes to hit the reset button and erase everything. So this kind of alignment is asking us to pass the tests about our beliefs, our ideologies. And if they don't pass the test, then what do we need to do? Maybe we need to find the new way. So finding that balance between what is practical, what is ideal, what is pure luck, and what is pure effort, and finding the balance between the two. Because we need luck and effort. We can't just have all effort, and we can't just have all luck. So we need to find the balance between the two. And so there could be this tendency to feel a little bit disillusioned or confused as you're navigating between the material and the spiritual realms. So I would suggest just kind of seeking, once again, practical advice from people that you trust, listening to your dreams, meditating, remaining connected from your crown chakra, and also kind of practicing discrimination to kind of allow your intuition to guide you and to know the difference between, like I talked about in the last moon class, between intention and projection. All right, the last thing I want to mention is that on July 22nd, we have Venus will be going retrograde. And this is going to be a review on relationships, a review on love, a review on creativity, a review on finances. And it's going to be asking us to kind of upgrade all of these things. Reassess our values, how we approach love, missed connections, if you will. But it's like this introspection about majorly creativity because it's in Leo. There may be some challenges, there may be some setbacks in the matter of love and expressing yourself or not expressing yourself, but just kind of reflect on your what's values, like what you value. Reflect on your relationships. Reflect on what you're doing creatively. Cancer season is generally the time where you want to relax. You don't want to stress out. You want to be in a state of healing so that you can just, you can release a lot of stuff, but then you need to heal from it. You can't just release. You need to heal. And Cancer is the 1 month of the year where we are given the permission to put things on hold and to heal. So with Venus and Leo retrograde motion, it's about embracing self-love and self-acceptance and allowing the retrograde to reveal any areas for growth or healing, and kind of using this period to reconnect with your authentic desires, so that you can express yourself from a place of really genuine compassion and passion. So you guys, these are some of the major transits that I wanted to talk about. And remember that all these influences, they are just part of the programming that's available, and your birth chart and the unique circumstances are going to be very different for each and every one of you. But this is kind of like what I delineated here. You can place into seeing like where Cancer is ruling on your chart. And once again, just accept all this positive energy, be mindful of the challenges, and navigate through these energies like with good self-awareness and the compassion and that willingness to grow and learn, and everything should be just fine if you do that, because Cancer season offers us a lot of amazing opportunity to really just grow out of old shells, and then to heal, and then hopefully get into a new context and a new reality by the time we come into Leo. Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much. There will be a healing meditation to help you with all this energy for the Zodiac hackers, and you can sign up for that as well. And please stay tuned, because we're going to talk about the whole summer solstice somewhere on the side as well. Thank you guys so much, and I wish you a wonderful Cancer season, and until next time, bye.